Donald Trump may have just given us cannabis investors the green light we've been looking for. And yes, the pun is intended. If you've been in cannabis for any amount of time, you know that the consensus is we are waiting for one big stimulant, and that is US legalization. And with Donald Trump's latest remarks, we might be the closest we've ever been. But still, those waters ahead are choppy, so it's important to be prudent. We're gonna talk about exactly what Donald Trump said and the benefits it has, not only for me and you, but for the American economy as a whole. On his social media platform Truth Social, Donald Trump posted a 3-minute video talking about the widespread benefits of endocannabidiol, one of the main ingredients in cannabis for the senior population. Amongst the vast amount of benefits and effects that CBD can provide, the main ones would be centered around significantly enhancing the body's ability to recover, which, as we know, when we get older, becomes a much harder process. And as always, if we focus on the brass tacks, the bottom line, analysts estimate the amount of money saved from reclassifying and introducing CBD as a medical product could save the American healthcare system by $64 billion. And this is straight up coming from the president, the person who is in the most capable position to make a change. But actually the benefits don't stop there. So now let's talk about for me and for you. If you've owned cannabis for any amount of time before today, you are very happy. Whether it's Aurora, Tilray, Canopy growth, or any ETF out there, you are happy. And you would know that we have not had much cause to be happy over this period of time. Despite multiple countries legalizing it, despite many states legalizing it, cannabis has not taken off. Why? Because we need the US to legalize it on a federal level. They've talked about it. This is the biggest step. And if they can do that, you and I, who've shown extreme patience, are now gonna look like geniuses. But now let's talk about on a larger scale. There's also massive benefits two ways. First, for corporations, if weed gets reclassified, then the tax burden goes way down. So then that's also helping small and mid-sized businesses grow, which can only be good for the US economy. The second part is reclassification would allow for the federal and state laws to actually have some uniformity, which in turn will only promote better business and overall long-term health of the economy. So not only for us as retail investors or for institutional investors, reclassifying and eventually legalizing cannabis on a federal US level will not only save the American healthcare system up to $65 billion, but it will significantly enhance the life of America's most vulnerable population, which is the older demographic, the 65 and older. And guess what? They're also the population who has the most disposable income and are more willing to spend it. So in all ways, this is a potentially fantastic move. But we must proceed with caution. Here's why. When you see a stock jump 40 to 50% in a day, many people might not even get that in their lifetime. It's easy to feel excited. But guess what? Let's not build castles in the air, because nothing has happened just as yet. And while this is a massive step and the biggest one we've seen, it still has to pass through Congress and it still has to actually reach federal legalization. And still, that road figures to be extremely bumpy. So invest with caution. And remember, these are actually quite speculative stocks. These are not stocks you can say, oh, for sure it's going to go up, for sure it's going to go down. So remember, whenever you invest with caution, but especially for stocks like this. If you have a risk appetite, I would say it might be a good call to invest. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. I can only tell you what I've done. And I've been a Tilray holder for about 5 years now. And I'm gonna say this, today made me very happy, but I know the road ahead is not gonna be super smooth. So keep your eye, and if you've made 40 to 50% of your money, consider taking some profits. Because guess what? Nobody ever went broke taking profits.